Good morning, everyone. This is Mara, and she is nearing the end of week 3 with litter number 4. And I noticed last night that she seemed to have a little bit of what I think could be the beginning of mastitis. It's not alarming at this time, but I wanted to try and see if I can get it on video to give some people ideas of what it's like. I think the first part is it's real important to know what your breeder looks like and how she normally feels. And that's kind of hard if this is your first litter, but Mara right now looks pretty typical visually for me. Her nipples usually get a little darker. These breasts tend to, her skin coloring gets a little darker, and these tend to stay brighter and pink. And that's just something that I try to pay a lot of attention to. I check her usually with every meal, and anytime I think that she might be feeling a little under the weather, and that just consists of really palpating the breast area to make sure I don't feel anything different. And so what happened last night was it was not uncomfortably hot in the puppy room, and she was a titch restless, and she also seemed really hot. So even though I had just checked her at dinner, I decided to check her again. Mastitis moves extraordinarily fast, but I also feel like it's treatable. And that sometimes does include vet care, but we want to try to head that off at the pass. So here's what I saw. These breasts here, very loose, very pliable. It's very soft and squishy to the touch, and you can see that here, right? This one is not so much, and it starts right here and moves all the way into this breast. This is not as squishy. When I squeeze like that, it definitely gives resistance. She's hotter right here. This is about 10 minutes after she last nursed. And so I would expect these back breasts to be much more flaccid like these here. So I know Margine. This one right here is really firm, and what's interesting is it's soft up here, up in the top part of her belly. But once you get in here, when you squeeze this, it's the description that they give us at the vet clinic is it feels like there's rope in there. And I remember being in grade school, and we used to play tug of war with that really big, thick rope, and you could feel all of the twists of it. And I kind of feel that right in here. It's important to note that mastitis does not have to affect all of the breasts. It can start it usually starts in one, my experience, and moves along, because this breast in the back here, again, very flaccid, very flexible, not warm to the touch. These are a little warm, they're not hot. And the breast underneath it is also the same. I would expect right here, this is really a thick piece that doesn't feel soft and like this. So what I do with this, I don't think we're in any kind of urgent situation. The reasons why is she's not acting like there's any urgent situation. The puppies are nursing, which is really great in battling mastitis. You want them to drain her and keep nursing on her. When you look at her breast milk, it's still very bright white. There's some. It doesn't have any weird texture or doesn't have any unusual odor to it. As the mastitis develops, it can get just a thick pussy, more of yellow, almost looks like the initial colostrum, but you'll definitely notice a difference. But the puppy's nursing on the mama is great for this. And then we also do a hot pack. So these are just the washcloths that I use when we whelp. And right now, I just tuck them in. This isn't always her favorite part. Well, laying on my bed and snuggling with me is her favorite part. But and these are, you can see I'm touching them. They're warm to the touch to be sure, but there's nothing, they're not hot because that skin's pretty delicate on the mama. And then I like to just throw a big blanket over, and I just let her hang out up here. Well, she's on my bed, so she's happy as can be, but I usually do let her hang out for about 10 minutes. She's usually happy to do so. Obviously, if I thought it was both sides or the other breast, I would do more tucking underneath or have her flip and do this again. And so I'm gonna do this and make sure she's still really happy and content to be nursing. And so, hi, Mama. I'm gonna keep doing that. And here's another important sign. She's kind of sitting up now. And one of the things that I also am always sure to look for is how is she accepting the puppies? So when she's in the pen with the puppies, which is still the majority of the time, Margine, stay. She is stretched out. Here, Mars, flat. Don't, flat. Thank you. And she presents herself this way. You see a lot of stretching in the back legs to open herself up. She'll roll and kind of even get towards her back to open herself up to nursing. Some of the moms, when their mastitis is bad or approaching bad and it's certainly uncomfortable for them, they will do more of that. Margie, Mars, hey, release. Kind of curl up in this, here you go, curl up in this kind of shape, maybe turn away from the puppies. Even I've seen one mom push the puppies away. This is actually a normal sleeping position for her as well. So we're gonna keep an eye on this for the next few days. I would say every couple hours, as long as I feel like it's still a little uncomfortable. What do you think you're doing, mamas? Stay. I will continue to pack her. If she was in full-blown mastitis, obviously calling the vet clinic, calling my local vet. But the other thing that I learned as a trick, because I've had a breeder who's gone into full mastitis, is I just get the crock pot out, fill it halfway with water, turn it on low, and then I just roll these washcloths up and put them in the crock pot. So I always have the warm compresses, because at that point you're doing a lot more of that. So right now I think she's happy and content, and I'm probably an over-worried breeder caretaker. I think we're all just a smidge tired because we did this late last night as well, and I think we're just going to take the day easy. Oh, does that sound like a plan, Margine? Take an easy day and make sure lots of nursing happens and compress, and we'll just watch her.